Hello students, welcome to biology class. This video is in continuity with the previous video of chapter Reproductive System. The objectives that we are covering in this video are development of human embryo, birth or parturition, and lactation. Starting with the development of human embryo. The human embryo takes about 9 months or an average of about 40 weeks from last menstrual period LMP till birth. This time is commonly divided into 3 periods, each period of 3 months called trimester. First trimester, first 3 months. A period of rapid cell division, cell differentiation, and organogenesis. First trimester. The changes that take place in the embryo during first trimester or first 3 months are: after first month, embryo's heart is formed. The first sign of growing fetus may be noticed by listening to the fetal heart sound through the stethoscope between 6 to 7 weeks. End of second month, fetus develops limbs and digits. By the end of 9 weeks, fingers and toes get formed. End of third month, vital organs like liver, kidneys, intestine, brain, and legs are fully formed and functional. Most of the major organ systems are formed. Limbs and external genital organs are well developed. Toothbuds and nails are formed. Basic structure of the baby is formed. During this period, the developing baby called fetus is very sensitive. It is a very critical time in the development because the proper course of events can be disrupted easily. Certain medicines can have highly undesirable effects. By the end of the first trimester, all the body system of the baby are formed. In the following months, they undergo minor structure modifications. The next is second trimester, 4 to 6 months, a period of tremendous growth and development. During fourth month, legs and arms grow. Joints and limbs can move. Fetal heartbeat can be heard by special stethoscope. And during fifth month, first movement of the fetus can be felt. End of 6th month, fetus body is covered with fine hair, eyelids separates and eyelashes are formed. In this video, we can see the development of the human embryo. Third trimester, 7 to 9 months, mainly period of growth rather than new development. End of 9 month, fetus is fully developed and is ready for birth, with all its essential organs well formed and able to function. In the image we can see the fetal growth from first week to 40 weeks. At the end of 9 months, the fetus is fully developed. In this image, we can see human embryo and fetus development from fertilization to birth. Now, after the development of the embryo into fetus, the next step is birth or parturition. Birth or parturition begins with a series of strong, rhythmic contraction of the uterus called labor. From around 12th week of the pregnancy, progesterone secreted by the placenta inhibits uterine contractions. The level of progesterone rises steadily until birth, usually around 38th week. It starts to fall dramatically. Since the progesterone is essential for the entire period of pregnancy, it is called pregnancy hormone. Pregnancy or gestation refers to the condition of carrying developing fetus inside the uterus till birth. It begins with the conception, that is, the fertilization of the ovum by the sperm, and continues until the birth of the baby. In this image, we can see the role of oxytocin. When the fetus is fully developed, the stretched receptors activated in the uterus send positive signals to brain for the release of oxytocin. Now, oxytocin gives positive feedback to the uterine muscles and leads to the uterine contraction. Contraction gets stronger and stronger until the baby is delivered. Next is duration of pregnancy. In human beings, the average duration of pregnancy is about 280 days, 40 weeks, that is approximately 9 months. It is calculated from the first day of the last menstrual cycle. The newborn healthy child after 40 weeks of gestation weighs about 7.5 kg. Parturition. On completion of pregnancy or gestation, the birth of the fully formed fetus is called parturition. Parturition is induced by a complex neuroendocrine mechanism. The signals for parturition originates from the fully developed fetus and the placenta, which induce mild uterine contraction called fetal ejection reflex. This triggers the release of oxytocin from pituitary. Oxytocin acts on the uterine muscles and causes stronger uterine contractions, which in turn stimulate further secretion of oxytocin. The process continues till the birth of the child. Around 38th week, when the progesterone level falls, it lifts inhibition of uterine contraction. It is an integrated role of the different hormones that bring about the onset of labor. Oxytocin from pituitary and prostaglandins from placenta are the two hormones that actually induce contraction of uterus. In this image, we can easily understand fetal ejection reflex. Oxytocin causes smooth muscle lining of the uterus to contract. This pushes the baby against cervix, causing it to stretch. Further stretching of cervix causes nerve impulse to be sent to brain, and brain stimulates posterior pituitary to release oxytocin. Now, this release of oxytocin and stretching of the cervix continues till the baby is delivered. There are 3 stages of labor. First one is dilation or opening of the cervix. Uterine contractions spread down over the uterus, and throughout these contractions, the cervix gradually dilates. The stimulatory reflex between the uterine contractions and strong oxytocin secretions continues, resulting in stronger and stronger contractions. With continued powerful contractions, the amnion ruptures and the amniotic fluid flows out through the vagina. The second is fetus is pushed out of the uterus. Fetus, now a newborn baby, is pushed out of uterus through the birth canal. The infant's lungs expand and it begins breathing. It requires a major switchover in the circulatory system. Blood flow through the umbilical cord ceases and the adult pattern of the blood flow through the heart and pulmonary arteries begin. The last stage is the placenta and umbilical cord are expelled. Usually within 10 minutes after the baby is born, the placenta and the remains of umbilical cord are expelled. In this image, we can see 3 stages of parturition. The first stage of birth, that is, cervix dilates, and in the second stage, the baby emerges, and in the third stage, there is expelling of placenta and umbilical cord. Lactation. The mammary glands of the female undergoes differentiation during pregnancy and start producing milk after childbirth. After childbirth, the first fluid which is released from the mother's mammary gland is called colostrum. Colostrum is both nutritious and rich in antibodies. Colostrum is slightly yellow in color. It contains no fat and very little sugar. It is rich in proteins and it is rich in calories. It contains important antibodies that provide passive immunity to the newborn infant. About 3 to 4 days after delivery, normal milk is produced from the mammary glands. Milk production is stimulated by the hormone prolactin (PRL) secreted by pituitary. The ejection of milk is stimulated by the rise in the level of oxytocin when the baby begins nursing. When there is an inhibitory peptide in the milk. If the breasts are not fully emptied, this inhibitory peptide accumulates and inhibits the milk production. Hence, there is an auto-control of the mother's body depending on the need of the child. Thank you so much.